Hey, what's happening? Super excited to come in live for you today. We're a few minutes late. As you guys are tuning in, say hey. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'm coming in from a little cabin in the woods in northern Michigan, and my ring light just went out, but I'm here like with the lights and this beautiful, you guys can't see it, like this beautiful trees. And oh my God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. If you guys have the chance to come to northern Michigan, all I can say is come. It is like it's a secret hideaway. Nobody knows how amazing it is. We're here for the next month. So as you guys are coming in, say hey, let me know that you can hear me and let me know where it is you're coming in from. I'm so excited for today's training because Tina is a total badass. That's all I can say. Like, she puts me to shame every single month. And if you want to know how to get good at sales, if you want to know how to grow your customer base, hey, from Des Moines, Iowa, if you want to know how to sell your customer base to over, she's like, Julie, I sell more than 15,000 every single month. I sell $24,000, 21 on average every single month in her own personal sales. Guys, that's hundreds and thousands of dollars in personal sales every single month, consistently, not just one time, but every single month. And so she is so amazing, so incredible. And I'm so excited because I told her not to hold anything back. Like, I want a step by step of how she has success over here and how she's built her social selling business to the very, very top. So as you guys are coming in, say hey to me and Tina. Tina, first of all, what is your backstory? Like, it didn't always have, like, you weren't like a rock star salesperson from the get-go, were you?
No. Actually, I was with one brand for 5 years. And it was a brand where the compensation plan, and listen, when I decided that I was going to join this company or be part of this company, I had visions of, hey, I really like these products and I would want to share them with people and sell them. And I had no idea what network marketing was. And then, of course, once I was in with this brand, I was informed that I would have to build a team in order to earn. I did everything they said, but it really just was not in my wheelhouse to be expanding a big team or trying to grow a team because I didn't feel ethically like I could invite people to join me if I wasn't earning. Why would I ask somebody to join into a business and I'm not even earning any money? So I recognized it took a while, but after 5 years, that just wasn't the brand for me. And I chose to align myself with a brand that had a dual-sided compensation plan, a compensation plan where I could earn by promoting product. And at the minute I was, it was almost like you just released the beast. Do you know what I mean? Like the minute I realized that, no, I don't have to invite people or recruit people to build a team in order to earn, then I was all of a sudden a lot more comfortable. And because I aligned with a brand that I loved the products, I knew they were effective, it was easy to share about them or easy to talk about them. So, yeah, so it took 5 years. And then now I've been with this brand for 2.5.
Amazing. But you've never had like I know your backstory. You were never a salesperson, or it's not like
No,
you.
I am a medical professional. I was a podiatrist. Yeah, and then I decided that I wanted a different quality of life as opposed to quantity of life. And at 35, I closed my podiatry practice and became a high school phys ed teacher and coach for 25 years.
Okay, that's so. But like, okay, so you're like me, right? Like, no sales experience, really. You know what I mean?
None.
It's not like you went into this and was like, "Oh my God, I'm a rock star salesperson" or anything like
No,
that. Like,
no,
it it's not who you are as your calling, right? So every
correct.
single month you have built and on social media, correct?
Right.
Okay. on social media, you sell on average $25,000 in
Mhm.
personal sales, not team sales. This is just your own personal sales, right?
Yes.
Drop a heart in the comments, or drop a me, I should say, in the comments if this is something that you were like, oh my God, that would be incredible, right? Like, because what she's going to do, Tina, you're going to break it down for us, like your simple, because it's so dialed in, your simple system on how you do this, not just once, not just twice, but literally consistently every single flippin' month, right? And so drop a heart in the comments if you're like, oh my God, that would change my business, right?
Mhm.
I now have become a very successful network marketer. It did not happen overnight. She's not an overnight success
No.
story, but she is a consistent success story. I know that, right?
Mhm.
Like total badass, consistent success story. Talk to us about what you do, how you've done it. What was that light bulb moment for you to make that switch for it to all happen?
Hey, I think number one, first and foremost, the biggest light bulb moment you have to have is number one, are you congruent with your brand? Right. So for instance, I chose a health and wellness brand. If you are in the health and wellness like space, then if you're going to talk the talk, you need to walk the walk. Right. And I don't mean by like showing up, hair done, lots of makeup on and all that kind of stuff every time. What I mean is you need to live the lifestyle. How can you sell stuff to people if you're not treating your body and treating yourself in the healthiest way? How can you sell health and wellness if you're not doing it? Because really, all I do is I walk the walk and then I share and show what that walk looks like. Right? Like that's the key 100%. Take care of your own vessel. And people, listen, it doesn't have to be like don't have to look like a supermodel, you don't have to look like a super fit person, but what if you decide today, if you're in your health and wellness business and you are not in the best shape or that you can be, or you are not the healthiest that you can be, and you decide you're going to make that change, and then you're going to share your journey, right? Because you can't show up in your stories and show other people's before and afters if you can't show your own. That, I'm sorry, it's the bottom line for me, really. And listen, I have the most amazing small team. We're all promoters. We all walk the walk and talk the talk, right? We all show up. So when we're sharing other people's before and afters, we're showing our before and afters as well, right? That's what makes people relatable to you. They're like, well, she can do it. She did it. That's why she's sharing it. That is key. Number one, the most important thing, hands down. I mean, if you're selling a service, then, be using the service and showing the benefits of the service for you, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But if you're selling shampoo or whatever it is you're doing, you gotta walk the walk.
Well, we
That's
always say you have to be a product of the product, right? And it doesn't
mhm,
mean that you have to be perfect. So I
ex-
want anybody that's like in this health and wellness, it does not mean that you need to be a supermodel. You know
that's
what I
right.
mean? Like you definitely don't need to be a supermodel, but you have to be a product of the product. And you have to, I think, Tina, what you said is like, you're like, I had to stand behind a brand that I represented, right? So if you want to sell 20 some $1,000 a month in personal sales, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to sell the product and you're going to have to show your own personal results. Okay. Drop a 3 in the comments if that makes sense. So if you do oils, if you do makeup, if you do hair, it doesn't matter. You have to be a product of the product, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm 59 and I love, for instance, watching the girls that do the scent makeup, the makeup where you just put all the dots on your face, because I'm terrible at putting on makeup. But the lady I follow is my age, right? She still has the same fine lines and wrinkles, or, the wrinkles above it, all the things. And I'm like, oh my God, she's doing it and it looks so awesome. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling you have to look perfect. I'm telling you, you have to live your best and healthiest life, right? Because then other people want to live their best and healthiest life. And think of the self confidence you will have when you start your journey, live your journey, have success in your journey. Doesn't that make it a lot easier to show up? Because listen, it's the day and age of social media. You got to show up in your socials. Why not showing up feeling that sense of self confidence because you traveled the journey to get yourself healthy?
Right. I mean, your mess is somebody else's message, right? And that's really what you're saying, Tina, right? Show up, share your not your I like the message your message because it's ringy, like it flows. Don't show up as a total mess, but know that like what your struggles are, what your, feelings are is somebody else's inspiration, especially if you've already gone through it and
Mhm.
you've come out that other side, right? So like Tina, I know you're really into talking about menopause, right?
Right.
You've come out the other side,
Yeah.
right? You're not perimenopause anymore. You're postmenopausal.
Right.
You've come out the other side and you share with people how you have been able to do it in a way that gives them their life back.
Correct.
Right. So your mess of going through menopause has been a message that you have been able to share with other women that are doing the exact same thing.
Yes.
They're maybe just like
Definitely.
two
I
steps behind
definitely
you.
also believe that even if your products or your brand or everything, anybody would want it, it's much easier to be able to share it with a relatable audience. So I'm not selling stuff to 20-year-old girls, right? No, I'm sharing it with people that are in my niche, right? Like
Right.
in my age group, in my age bracket, women, like I dialed it right down, pinpointed it. I wanted what I wanted to do. So if you are, and the other thing I can say too, though, right? If you are a realtor, share your stuff with realtors, like go into
Right.
your people because they can relate to everything that's happening in your life. So, for instance, if a realtor is also doing network marketing and they're like, I have an open house and I have this and I have that, but I'm on my phone and I'm doing a little bit of business here and there. And then someone's like, oh, wow, well, she's still doing her thing, but she's doing this. Or she's still, even if you were selling health and wellness as a realtor and you'd be like, I'm on the road, I'm going to an open house, but I got my healthy lunch here, like all those sorts of things. And then another realtor's like, whoa, maybe I could do this, or maybe I can get healthy too. Like that sort of being able to relate to having your audience relate to you.
Right. Because the reality is if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Nobody is listening to you. And so people are like, "Oh, but I talked to this person and I talked to this person and I talked to this person." No, you don't. You're talking to nobody. Nobody is listening to you. So the quicker you can niche down, the smaller your group is. And I think Tina, that's really where you've like really nailed it, right? Like you are
Mhm.
so specific that you talk to menopausal women only, right? So
Correct.
like you don't talk to me. I am not there yet.
Hmm.
Now I will follow you because I'm quickly catching up. You know what I mean? But like I am not your target audience. And
No.
so there's no reason for me to follow you at this point. Doesn't mean I don't think that she's not amazing, but I am not who she's speaking to. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So know who your niche is so that you can dial in all of your content and all of your messaging to hit that person's pain point. And usually, like what Tina was saying, is it's usually who you are, right? Like the reality is it's who you are because you know what their pain is and how you can help them solve their pain, right? So if you're a realtor, you know exactly what some of the struggles are that realtors face, and you know how you can solve that problem that they have, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So you've gotten really niched. You've gotten very clear as to who your messaging are. You are a product of the product. How are you attracting? Because you've got to be attracting a lot of people to you. How are you doing that each and every month? And like, what is your process?
Well, mostly the process is of showing up consistently. So I'll be honest with you, I utilize TikTok as my very first place for where I create content.
Mhm.
And then I'm always creating content in a number of ways. So I may be on one day educating, right, inside my content. One day I may be just entertaining, but with that message always congruent to my audience, right? Those sorts of things. So I may be doing something that's trending, right, to try to create more growth in my audience. And then what I do is that TikTok, whatever I'm doing that day, is repurposed. And I mean, I repurpose into all my socials. So I will repurpose that TikTok onto Reels, Facebook Reels. I will repurpose it into Instagram Reels. I will repurpose it into LinkedIn. I will repurpose it into YouTube Shorts. But I've only made one thing. It takes about 10 minutes to repurpose it into all those different venues. When you think about it, okay, what if 50 people in LinkedIn saw that TikTok? That's 50 people I don't know.
Right.
Right? So you have to think about being consistent, right? I show up every single day and I repurpose. And then the other place that's so important to me is stories, because my reels go straight into my personal Facebook profile. I'm okay with that. I mean, I know a lot of people like to remove them or not have them. I let it roll. I just let I just let it roll into my personal Facebook feed, but I do show up in my stories. And in my stories, I'm not afraid to sell. You know,
Okay.
like on my personal page, I will always share if there's a promotion. Everybody knows what I do now, right? So if they choose not to watch, don't watch. It's okay. Right. But for the audience that is watching, I'm going to share with them every promotion or everything that's happening. And I try to show it in a fun, classy way, you know, those sorts of things. But in my stories, I'm not afraid to share what the promotion is, when it's running, how long it's going. So those are the things that I do inside my socials, and I'm completely consistent with that. And then the other thing is too, um, just like our brand, we leverage a Facebook group that uses the ad tag message system, right? Which is very, very effective because we choose to serve without expectation inside the group. It's not a group that just customers get added to, it's a group where anyone can come and receive education, help, support, all of those things. Should they choose to utilize the products that we recommend, that's great. Should they not, that's okay too. We still help everybody. So that is one of the other things. So leveraging the Facebook group, using ad tag messaging, and showing up in TikTok to repurpose, as well as showing up in my stories daily. That's
I
what I do.
I love it because what I'm hearing you say, Tina, is you're saying A, consistency, right? Like you are consistent to a fault, but
Yes.
you're not just posting and praying. You have a very direct strategy as to what each day looks like when you're creating your content, right? It's not just like throwing things at the wall. Like I heard you say, like, one day I'm entertaining, one day I'm educating, one day I'm doing, a trending sound or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Because what it is, when you want to have, and if you want to have a big customer pod like Tina does, right? You need to have a ton of people at the top of your funnel,
Mhm.
right? You have to have leads coming in all of the time. Because Tina, how many customers do you have a month on average?
Last month I had 185 customers.
185 customers, right?
Mhm.
Those are not all of her friends and family. Like,
Mhm.
it is definitely people that she is meeting on social media through her TikToks, right? Is like the top of the funnel, what we would call the top of the funnel, right? Or your YouTube shorts or your LinkedIn or whatever, right? Is the top of your funnel, and you drive people to Facebook mostly?
I drive people, when I'm like I said, with my strategy as far as social media goes, there'll be, certain days a week where my TikTok is inviting people into our Facebook group. There'll be certain days a week where I'm talking about, my lifestyle, not necessarily talking about, but could be showing, or, using a trending sound, but showing my lifestyle, those sorts of things. There'll be certain times of week where I'm sharing the products or whatever that I'm using to support this lifestyle. So those are the sorts of things I do. The other thing is too, is that it's not just bringing people into the Facebook group. To me, that's super duper important, because we all want to help people as much as we can. Right. And like I said, we do it without serving without expectation of ordering the supplements or anything that we utilize. But the other thing that I do too is if you people have a link tree, I have a milkshake, right? Link. One of the very first things is tap this to talk to me in Messenger, right? Like, I'm inviting people into a conversation. You want help? Tap here. That should be like at the top, not what's on promotion or what's for sale, those sorts of things. Come, I'm here to answer your questions, or I'm here for help. Most times too, inside my milkshake, it will not be like a link to buy wouldn't be the first thing. It would be an information link. So a board made with information. Then if you want to, if this is something that interests you, we can talk more. Like, it's never like, here, this is my $10 off discount. That's lower down, because often sometimes people are looking for that. But near the top would be the invite to the group, invite to talk to me in Messenger. Here's an information link on what I was talking about, those sorts of things.
I love that, because what you're saying is you're connecting with people on a human level first, as opposed to just selling to them. So that helps with the like, know, and trust factor, right? If you have a conversation with somebody and you're hearing what they need, you're selling without expectation, right? You're serving without expectation, whether they buy from you or not. They are more likely to then go and buy from you, because they've developed that sense of trust with you, right? And so the days of being like a spammy salesperson are gone. But you hear what Tina's saying. She sells all the time, but mostly she's selling in her stories. Excuse me, I have the hiccups, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I'll share like the meat and potatoes of a promotion inside there. The other thing too, which is really big for me, if somebody sees my stories and I'm asking the question in the stories, do you want more information? And they'll press yes, and I send them a messenger. I always send a voice messenger too. And I'm always saying their name. So if somebody saw my story and they asked for more information, and I see that and I'm sending them a messenger, if the girl's name was Sally, the first thing I would say is, hey, Sally, it's Tina. Wow, thanks so much for asking for more information from my story. I'm sending you information. If it's something that interests you, let me know. If you have questions, I'm here to answer them. And then all of a sudden that person is like, wow, she didn't just drop me a link. She sent me a voice message that said my name. Like, she took that time. It takes you 10 seconds to leave that little message, right?
Totally. And the profound impact that it has, because today, I mean, how many times have you been spammed? Put spammed in the comments if you've been I mean, like, it is getting out of control, right? If you're in this online network marketing space, like, I mean, I am getting spammed right and left, and I immediately know when somebody sends me a friend request what their alternative motive is. Like, you're not fooling anybody, right? And so the customer journey, it's so important. And I've had on George Bryant. I went to Montana because we talked about the customer journey, and what Tina's saying is she's made it so personal, right? By dropping that 30-second voice clip and using that person's name, I've got to tell you, is a huge light bulb moment. And if you're not doing that, you need to be. So drop the mind blown emoji right here, because I am telling you, it works so well. And in fact, going back to the George Bryant conversation, the first time I messaged him, he said my name, and I was like, holy shit, he knows who I am. He's like
Mhm.
literally not copying and pasting a message to me. I ended up spending thousands of dollars on a guy I didn't know and flew to Montana, right? Because he made it seem like he cared. He made it personal. And so many times I think that the reason people don't have success here on social media is because we've gotten away from like the human connection. And Tina, you've like nailed it right there when you've said it's about the human connection.
Mhm. I mean, don't we owe it to people if somebody took the time to say, wow, I'm really interested, or I'd like more information on what you're selling? Don't we owe it to them? Like, don't we owe it to them to just give them that little bit of a personal touch and time? They're a potential customer. If you were in
Totally.
any sales place anywhere, you owe it to your potential customer.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that the servant heart that you have, right? The more
Thank you.
you give, what has happened, the
The more
more you have gotten, right?
Mhm.
And I think that people forget that. Like, guys, I'm on vacation. Like literally for the month, I'm on vacation, but I needed to like come in and serve you with this goodness here on vacation. Like could I have taken the time off? I could have, but I'm like, "Oh my god, Tina has sold literally consistently every single flipping month." Like she has to share this with people. It's life-changing. In your personal sales, and you can do the math, you make what, 36% commission?
Mhm.
36% commission on $24,000. You do the math. Her servant heart has led her to a significant paycheck. Now you do this full time, Tina?
I do now, right? I retired in 2021. So, yeah.
That's crazy. That's great. And you're a farm woman and you're a horse mom. Like you've
Yeah.
got so many other things that you have going on. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not, but as we all do, right? But even when you were doing this as a school teacher,
Mhm.
you still had this same personal touch. That has not changed because
Yeah.
you're now doing this
No,
full
we
time.
always did, but I do think that we've evolved, right? Like, we evolved along the way. So, we always had, like, a little amount of personal touch. I know that Bob Heilig teaches, transformational, sales, and we were already doing that when he was starting to teach it, but, you learn a little bit more about, how you are going to say things and, you know, but that's part of being in a sales business, right?
Right.
It's so we've definitely evolved, right? You learn sometimes some things don't work, sometimes some things do, that sort of thing, but always with the essence of service, right? Inside your thoughts and inside your heart, then things usually work out. I mean, I think too, the other thing is that we give very good customer service. And by that, I don't mean that I set up my customers' accounts. That's one of the things that I refuse to do. I'm in an online business. Everybody knows how to shop online. Will I teach somebody how to open their own account? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit at my computer and open people's accounts and place their orders for them. It's just not, it's how I'm choosing to do my business. Some
Right.
people can, that's great. I don't have the time to do that, and I don't want to do that. I would rather teach someone how to be a great online shopper with my brand.
Right.
Right?
So when you
But if
say
somebody has an issue with a supplement or something, a shipment not coming or something is late, I am the first person to take that on and go to customer service on their behalf.
right.
And they always will say, "Wow, thank you so much. I didn't have to sit on the phone for an hour. I didn't realize." And my customers, my regular customers all know that if something is off or wrong, that they can come to me directly and the problem gets solved.
And that's the beauty of why people buy from network marketers, right? Or it should be the beauty as to why people buy from network marketers is because of the customer service element.
Yeah.
And I can't even tell you, Tina, I love to buy from network marketers all the time. How very few of them will actually follow up with me
Yeah.
to see how I am enjoying the products or
Yeah.
to even thank me for supporting their business. Now,
Yeah.
when those things happen, I am far less likely to reorder from them, right? But again, it goes part of the customer journey. That's so important. It's the personal touch, it's the follow through, it's the making sure that they're happy, that they're satisfied, that they know exactly, what to be expected, how to problem solve if something's not working for them, right? That's something you don't get when you go to GNC. That's something you don't get when you go
Mhm.
to Whole Foods or wherever it is that you buy whatever it is you're selling, right? Like there's
Mhm.
not really anything that's that original in the network marketing space. We all have something that you could go and buy. Maybe it's not as good, of course, but we all have something. There's not like something that is truly original, one of a kind, but what we do offer is customer service, right? And I
Yeah,
think people forget
and
that.
based on too what you just said, one of the first things that I do, and I have very good customer retention. One of the first things that I do is, as soon as somebody orders, they will get a message from me saying, "I'm really excited. Thank you for becoming my customer. I'm very excited to have you as a customer. Here is our app." Right? And I share with them the shopping app so that they can load the app onto their phone, right? And then I let them know that I am going to be sharing promotions with them twice a month. Then they don't have that expectation of, oh, she's spamming me with messages. No, Tina said, here's the app to shop. She's going to let me know whenever there's a promotion, those sorts. And I'm also here for them, right? Should they have any issue, they need anything, that sort of thing. And then they're like, wow, I just ordered and already she just sent me a nice message telling me I'm here for you. This is what's going to happen. This is what you can expect. And I want you to have this special app just for you for being my customer.
Right. And there's so many tips that I'm giving you because you're talking to your audience, right?
Mhm.
Like you're giving them all of this free information, so to speak, these freebies that they're getting when they join your Facebook group,
Mhm.
right? It's amazing. It's amazing. So, guys, I guess, Tina, what would be your last tip of advice that you could give somebody? Sorry, this fresh Michigan air is like coming in strong. Um, what is this last tip of advice that you could give somebody to help them in the sales process for them? Um, what would you give them? Like, what would you tell them?
Consistency is key.
And what does that mean? Because that's
Showing up
very
every
vague.
day.
Every day.
Showing up every day.
Saturdays?
Every day.
Sundays?
Every day.
Every day. Tina is like literally the most consistent person to a fault. And it's not a fault. I mean, it's like, like I am like consistent to a fault. I always say, like, I can't take any time off. But here's the thing. She said, what does it take? 15 minutes maybe to make a reel and then to repurpose all of the content. Like, if you don't have 15 minutes for your business, at least to show up, then you can't expect to be successful. You really
Yeah, and I
can't.
mean, I'm gonna be, like, really honest with you. I'm retired, and I have high play factor. My life, I love to work out. I work out every day, or I play pickleball every day, or I'm doing things on the farm, those sorts of things. But I probably and this is in all honesty, there will be times where if there's a big promotion, we're working really, really hard. Or when I'm batching content, I might take like 3 or 4 hours to make a whole bunch of TikToks that I can put in my drafts. But on an average, I probably work 3 hours a day.
And you're full time. right? And you get a
Yes.
full-time paycheck from that. So 3
Yes.
hours a day working full-time and making a multiple six-figure income
Yes.
is worth it, right? Like it's a dream come true. Let's be honest.
Exactly, and like I said, there will be times where we'll work longer hours, but on an average, 3 hours a day, and once you have like a sort of like a little bit of a system down, right, where you know what you're gonna do, you make sure those things get done. Some of them get done while I'm sitting on the couch with my husband watching TV,
Right.
right? You know, you just put your earbuds in and you're doing your thing.
Right.
But, like I said, roughly 3 hours a day, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And she's so consistent and it has paid off. And I
Yes.
like, guys, I hope you realize that like Tina wasn't always this successful, right? She's tweaked,
No.
she's
I
turned, she's
guys,
pivoted. Like,
I made no money for 5 years. I came to my latest brand that I've been for 2.5 years completely in credit card debt, consolidation loans, like all of the things, because I was getting my auto ship every month. I was going to all the things. I was doing everything that they told me to do, and I was going in the hole every month. But I never gave up. I just
mhm.
needed to find the right home.
Right. And the systems and the like
Yes.
the servant leadership, like she said, she's pivoted. She's gotten better at the customer journey. Like it wasn't always this way, but the difference is she didn't give up. Like, how easy would it have been for her to be like, well, it's been 5 years and I'm in the hole and I'm not making any money, right? It's network marketing. It works when you work and you're
Mhm.
ability to pivot, your ability to change, your ability to say, okay, this isn't working, doesn't mean it doesn't work, but this particular strategy is not working for me. So I need to pivot and I need to do this, or I need to go here, or I need to do that, right? We're not a tree, we're not stuck. We sometimes just need to pivot and put systems into place and to try different things, which is why I wanted you guys to hear Tina's story because I know that it's working right now
It is.
for her.
But the other thing too, and in all honesty, listen, I'm not if you are in a brand and it's not working for you and you've been there for a long time, but you love the people, in the end, this is a business. You had a vision. You saw it as a business that was going to help you. Either for me, it was to beef up my retirement fund or, help me get out of, like I've got in debt in network marketing. So I don't know, get me out of debt, all the things. But I'm just saying, like, you cannot be afraid to find something that's a better fit for you. This, right? A lot of people stay in the same job their whole lives? No, you might have a number of different jobs, or if you have the same career, you might still be in a number of different places in that career. So don't be afraid if you're sitting there going, this isn't working. I don't know what to do. Hey, do not be afraid to find a new home with the same vision that you had at the first one.
Right. I love it. I'm like sticking to the chair over here. So if you hear noises, it's not my tush. It's like me like moving my legs over here. I'm like, I don't know what they hear, but I promise you it's my legs moving. All right, Tina, if we want to find you, I know you're on every social media platform. Where can we find you?
Well, I mean, obviously on Facebook, I'm Tina Margaris. I don't do Instagram a lot, but I will repurpose stuff over there. I'm on TikTok as Tina Margaris, and it's menopause weight loss expert on TikTok. And yeah, come and find me anywhere. Send me a messenger.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
love Messenger. Messenger's a great place.
I am going to create, well, I don't know if I'll ever create another course, but if I do, it's going to be called the $1,000,000 Messenger because it's going to teach people how to have conversations because it literally is the $1,000,000 messenger, like it is amazing. Guys, if you've gotten value, hashtag value in the comments. Let us know that this has been so helpful for you. If you're catching the replay, you guys know what to do. Hashtag replay. Tina, you are amazing. Thank you so much for all of your knowledge, all of your wealth, sharing and caring for all of us so that we can be incredible rock stars. I've got like things, I'm like going to go stock your milkshake right now and see what your milkshake looks like, right? Like success leaves clues. I'm not selling $24,000 every single month. So I appreciate it. So many great, amazing golden nuggets. Thank you guys. I love you. Have an amazing day. Know that I believe in you. And thank you. I love you guys. Bye.